Oh shit. What's up? Hot damn. We're on a motherfucking roll today, ain't we? Well, I hope y'all are. Well, my coffee cigarette crew. I'm past coffee, I've moved on to tea. Any tea drinkers out there, like British people, tea time, tea drinkers? Just want to know if I'm doing it right. Sometimes, around 3 or 4, I just get so frustrated just with everything, and I'll be tired. And, man, I'm just gonna get a drink of tea, make myself a tea, and sit down and just contemplate things. Is that what you're supposed to do? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I can tell you what some fuckers don't do there in their tea time. They don't listen to impiety. I will listen to impiety during my tea time. It's a collection of all their demos, EPs, and splits. Just starting at the top. Which is weird. It's got Funeral Light. I've got that. And the Abhorrent split. I've got that. Man, Impiety and Profanatico. Ooh. And then Impiety, Surrender of Divinity. I'm familiar with Surrender of Divinity. That's a pretty good band. I've never, didn't know they did a split with the Mighty Impiety. That's fucking cool. But no, this is a great release if you can get it. Just because it's like a collection of shit. Oh yeah. Vengeance, Hell, and Memorial, or whatever. Is that what it says? Vengeance, Hell, and Memorial. I don't know what that means, but fucking like it. Oh, this is the cool shit. This is the cool shit. Check that out. Look at them covers. I can't see what y'all see. Look at them badass covers, dude. Yeah, it's Funeral Light. I got that one. And there's that Abhorrence one. I got that one. Yeah, I like it when bands do a bunch of fucking splits and demos and EPs. Try like hell to collect them all, and then they're like, haha, just kidding. We're gonna put out an entire fucking album of just those. Oh yeah. That gas mask on the goat skull. Dude. That's such a nice that's a nice touch. That's such a nice touch. Ibex goat with a gas mask. Fuck yeah. Damn it, cat. Anyways. Damn cat. Alright, what are we doing? I guess we're gonna read some comments. Oh, this one's labeled fun. Ah. What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. In a world of flies, be a spider. That's from DII, Die 3218. Is that 321B? Nope, that's an 8. 3218. With another one of those damn frog memes. Pepe over there. Another one of those Pepes. There are a lot of Pepes in the comments. I guess that's a good thing. I always like that retarded frog. What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. In a world of flies, be a spider. Thank you, Die 3281. Oh, we got some meat here. Oh man, we got a good one here. 999 Emergency Alert 3. It's a dude's name. That's a dude's handle. Look, 999 Emergency Alert 3. Emergency Alert 3. That sounds like it's from a video game. I was thinking of Resident Evil for some reason. So Emergency Alert wants to talk about the Nephilim. Not enough people talked about the Nephilim. Emergency Alert wants to talk about Nephilim. Like, oh, I could talk about Nephilim. Cool. Nephilim, in case you didn't know, hybrids of fallen angels and humans. Or in some myths, they're actually considered gods, like the Anunnaki and shit like that. But not the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were like the actual gods, and then they like had Enki create humans basically to do their labor. Did you see that movie Battlefield Earth with John Travolta and Barry Pepper? You should watch that movie because it's basically a myth, an old myth that's been like modernized and made to look like it was in the future. But it's actually, we're talking about the Anunnaki to an extent. Because Enki had given humans, had bred humans with the Anunnaki DNA, which was like a big no-no. Like they wanted him to like breed humans so that they could do labor, but Enki made them smart so that we could think like they did. And then and that happens in the movie Battlefield Earth, where the humans like get the learning machines and they learn how to do like geometry, and all of a sudden they can think about wacky, crazy shit after that. And then they get jets for some reason, because that's a thing. But whatever. Fun movie, kind of cheesy. But if you look at it and understand that it's a myth that's actually been modernized to be a futuristic sci-fi tale, you look at that movie a lot differently. Yeah. So Nephilim, yeah, it's fun to talk about. Fun to read about. Oh, I just think it's just an aside. If you read the Bible, you hear that God created man in his image. And if you look at the Anunnaki myth, they're gods that created humans in their image. And there's a few stories like that in mythology about gods creating humans in their image to do their work or do, whatever, Fun stuff. Makes you think, if everybody talks like that, there must be some truth to it. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, back onto Emergency Alert 3. Everything we've been taught is mostly a lie or a half-truth. So why wouldn't the Nephilim be any different? For all we know, they were good guys before the bad guys, and the bad guys and gals, and they were the good guys before, and the bad guys and gals took over this current world. So they were previously good guys, and now bad guys took over. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. And he's like, what the fuck? Who knows? It's cool to think about. It's cool to postulate. Maybe they were good, they turned bad, or maybe they were good and somebody worse came along and they ran. I mean, if you look, the Anunnaki fled because a cataclysm was coming to the Earth and they knew they couldn't survive it. So they took off in their spaceships. That's in the myths, y'all. That's in the fucking myths of the Anunnaki. They came down to Earth to mine gold, made a race that could do the fucking work, and then Enki made the race smart so we could think like them. And then they're like, well, that fucking sucks. And then a cataclysm was coming, and they had to bolt because they knew a lot of fire and floods were coming. Yeah, floods. Specifically talk about floods. And then there's another one. There's this column, and it's chiseled and carved into it, and it tells you like all these ancient kings, and gives you like their lineage and shit like that, and how long they ruled for. And at the very end of this pillar that tells you the entire history of this group of people, we don't even know who they are. Nobody's ever met these people. That's how long it's been. At the bottom of it said, and then the flood came. And then the flood came. I found books written by the United States Geological Service, whatever, USGS, and they talk about the Great Flood. They're like, oh yeah, the Channel Scablands of Montana and Idaho, you can see evidence of the Great Flood. And they keep referring to it as the Great Flood, and they mean the biblical. Moving on. Back to Emergency Alert. If they're bad, come at us. I was talking about the Nephilim. If the Nephilim are bad, come at us. I like Emergency Alert a lot. You're my kind of human. I'm digging you, bro. Emergency Alert continues. I'd wager warriors who somehow took them down in ancient time with spears, swords, and numbers, sheer numbers. Ancient warriors did, if you look at King David, David from the Bible, David and Goliath was a Nephilim. They fucking say it in the Bible, dude. Read the fucking Bible. Goliath was like, he was like of the Philistines, but the Philistines like contracted out these guys. So a lot of people said, oh, he was a Philistine. No, he's a mercenary that worked for him. Read the fucking Bible. There's a lot of translations of the Bible because that's kind of how it goes. But read multiple translations about Goliath, and you'll find out he was a mercenary that worked for the Philistines. And when they talk about his armor weighed more than a person, and his sword was longer than a person and shit like that. Like, yeah, he's a fucking giant. There's always a giant. It's fucking Nephilim. Let's be honest. So Nephilim still existed up into the time where David from the Bible was alive. And he ended up becoming the first king of Israel. Just as a side note. Because he took down this guy. So yeah, he's right. Ancient warriors took these dudes down. There was another fight in the Bible. Oh, it was David. And they were running around trying to fight a bunch of like different tribes to bring peace, I guess, by killing all the people that worshipped the other gods. Baal and Moloch. B-A-A-L. Baal. Some say Baal. Baal. Moloch. M-O-L-E-C-H. Yeah. Baal worshippers were like huge, and then like David got orders from God, like, hey, kill all the Baal worshippers. So he went around doing it, and when they found Baal worshippers, they found the fucking giants and the Nephilim. And so yeah, David's army of Israel like fucking took down a tribe of these motherfuckers. So yeah, he's talking about they could do it. Spears, swords, arrows, and numbers. But he goes on. A modern 12 gauge loaded with a mix of explosive and steel slugs, double-aught buck, and some orneriness probably would at least slow it down. Emergency alerts on to something, bro. Fuck yeah, for real. It's like, bro, we can take those on. Now, did you hear about that fucking, the U.S. Marines that ran into a giant out in Afghanistan? And the dude was like 8 feet tall, maybe even taller than that. And they were capping him with their 5.56s, and it was doing nothing. But also in the squad, they had the SAW, the squad automatic weapon, which, y'all know what, correct me, comment down below if you know what that weapon is, the SAW. But it shoots like a 7.62 by 39, which is the AK round, which is bigger than the 5.56, and then they had a sniper who fires a 308. And the SAW and the sniper were able to bring him down because they said the 5.56 was not puncturing that dude's skin. It would just hurt him, and he'd just get irritated. It was smacking him with sticks and then choking him to death. And the SAW and the 308 brought that fucker down. Yeah, man, look into that shit. It's a fucking legit story. I don't know if it's real, but yeah, Marines in Afghanistan encountering a fucking giant. And yeah, they brought it down with some good old-fashioned American hate and some firepower. Just know if you're going to throw down with a Nephilim, apparently 5.56 is not good enough, which is terrifying to me. Because a 5.56 will straight wreck your shit, provided you get enough rounds on the thing. But the 5.56 was also designed to incapacitate an enemy and not kill them. The difference between the 5.56 and 7.62. 7.62 is known as an over-penetrator. I've heard of soldiers, and I've actually met soldiers that said they took AK rounds and were still functional. Because the round just went right through them and didn't do any damage. I mean, it damaged them, but it didn't like take them out of the fight. 5.56s are known to take you out of the fight. They'll wound you to the point where you can't compete anymore. But apparently against a fucking Nephilim, you're going to want that AK. So if you're a firearms enthusiast out there, just remember multiple calibers is the way to go. Make sure you got that 7.62 and that 5.56 and 308, 30, 30-06. One of those big hunting rounds, but not in a fucking bolt action, probably going to do you some good. Or if you got a bunch of friends with shotties and 5.56s, they can front for you and your sniper can even if he is firing bolt rounds, you can probably get off a lucky shot hitting that thing in a fucking serious area. Anyways, what am I talking about? I'm talking about fucking fighting Nephilim with modern firearms. I drink tea, I listen to Impiety, and I think about shit like that. What do you want from me? That's what we do here. That bass tone. Or is that the guitars? Jesus, that's low. Fuck, that's sick. I like the fact that Impiety doesn't sound the same every single time you listen to them. Like, every EP, every album sounds different. Although Paramount Evil has to be one of my favorite albums. Oh, Impiety, Paramount Evil. That's a good one. If you're not listening to Impiety at all, fix that. Seriously. Doing yourself a favor. Helping you here. The cat's helping you here. Tell him, cat. Yeah, listen to Impiety, bro. So I got a conversation going on here. Lots of conversations going on in the comments sections. That's awesome. I totally encourage and appreciate that. Thank you. So, Autism Vulture. That's hot. Go ahead, bro. Autism Vulture. Funny how a lot of folks who own thin blue line flags also own Don't Tread on Me flags. Yeah, who do you think's treading on you? Yeah, thin blue line and Don't Tread on Me. Yeah, the cops are the ones doing the majority of the infringing. Man, I just saw a video. It was not American cops, but it was cops overseas, probably Europe. And they had this dude detained, and the dude, like, literally got prone, laying on the ground, hands out by his side or whatever, and was, like, by his side, like, waiting for the handcuffs, and the cop was, like, holding him down while another one was going to go, like, get the cuffs on him, and he just walked over and just started kicking the dude in the face. Like, the dude went prone, he's not doing anything, and you decide to kick him in the face. Can I get an FTP? FTP. Yeah, fuck that, man. So anyways, the Sky Guardian jumps in here. Like, nah, see, it's partly they think the police should tread on other people, not them. As some other YouTuber put it, they know that flag from Escape from New York with Kurt Russell, they know that flag from Escape from New York with Kurt Russell. Okay. These guys know they are criminals but want their crimes overlooked because they are on the right side or whatever. No, I get what you're saying. What Sky Guardian is trying to say here is, like, oh, but they're worse than me or they're the bad guy. I'm on your side. No, everybody does that. Republicans and Democrats are the fucking worst about that in our country. And I'm sure y'all got that overseas in your country too, where, like, the other political party gets in there and all of a sudden the people, like, all the crimes that were committed with one political party, it's like, oh, that person's bad, this party's bad. Oh, we're in charge. They do the exact same thing, but it's different now. It's different because we're doing it, and we're the good guys. If you're thinking you're the good guy, you aren't. If you're like, nah, man, we're the good guys, we're going to help society. You're not, and you won't. You're the bad. If you're thinking you're the good guy, we're the bad guy. That's why I sit over here and say Appalachian Warlord. Yeah. Everybody likes the cops when they think they're on their side. I talked to some cops one time, and I was like, hey, man, we had a black guy friend with me, and we were both like, hey, let's talk to this cop for a minute. And we kind of knew the cop. And so it's black guy and white guy asking the cop, like, hey, which one's the worst to engage with, white dudes or black dudes? And we thought we were going to trap him and shit like that. And he was like, honestly, I don't really have problems arresting black people or stopping black people or even going to their neighborhoods. Most of the time, if they've done wrong, and they know they've done wrong, and they go pretty peacefully. And we're all like, looking at each other like, okay. And then he was like, now white people, they're all friendly as hell until the handcuffs come out, and then their tune changes. He was like, also, white neighborhoods are the worst ones. He's like, you ever roll into a trailer park and that's about white people? You go in there to serve a warrant, they're all like, hi, officer, how you doing? Nice to meet you. You have a nice day. Go arrest Jim Bob, and all of a sudden there's 8 12 gauges behind you, like, officer, we're going to need you to stop. And this cop was, like, dead serious. He was like, here to serve a warrant, you have to come with me. And all of a sudden, guns cocking behind him, and he's like, tell you what, why don't you just turn yourself in? Have a nice day. And that cop was like, legitimately that happened to me. He's like, serving warrants in a black community, they'll go peacefully. Serving warrants in a certain white community, shotguns get pulled. There you go. Who's the worst? The cops are more afraid of white people than they are black people. Which is weird because you always get that footage of them kicking the black guy, but just know from a white dude, they'll kick the shit out of us just as quick as they will you. As soon as they think that camera ain't rolling, they don't give a fuck what color you are because your color isn't blue. White, black, it ain't blue. So they'll kick the shit out of me just as soon as they will you guys, so just keep that in mind. How the fuck are we at 20 minutes already? How the fuck does that happen? Impiety. Also, somebody recommended something that sounded like Portal. Y'all like Portal? I like Portal. He sent a link. He said it's like Portal-inspired avant-garde. Well, I gave it a listen. It's exactly what he said. It's like Portal, it's avant-garde. Cacophonic. C-A-C-O, phonic. P-H-O-N-I-C. Cacophonic. The song Neuroplasticity. I don't even know if you call that a fucking song. It's called Neuroplasticity by Cacophonic. I didn't listen to anything more. I meant to. I don't have enough time in the day. But I listened to it, homie. It is avant-garde Portal style. Yeah. Wow. There we go. 20 minutes. Anyways, thank you. Y'all have a good day. I'm Cattle Roger, Appalachian Warlord. See you guys.